if you are looking to move to Dallas, or if you're already here and you're trying to get a new job and stuff, the time to apply is now. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Aisha, and I am back with another video. If it's your first time joining my channel, welcome, and if you've been rocking with me, welcome back. So we are in part three of my Dallas series Reloaded, and we are running back the Dallas job market, but in a different way. I'm going to be shedding some light on things you need to know if you're intending on moving to Dallas, what the Dallas job market is looking like right now due to this global pandemic, how it's affected and impacted our job market, some best times to be applying, how processes are going right now. So yeah, if you're interested in this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and we are going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I want you guys to know is, if you are considering Dallas, if you're already living here and you're trying to get a new job across 12 of the largest metropolitan areas, Dallas was ranked number 2, y'all. Like, ranked number 2 to have the second slowest loss rate across 12 of the large metropolitan areas. That means out of Atlanta, Houston, Chicago, New York, New Jersey, like all of those large places, they have had extremely high job loss rates. While Dallas is number 2 compared to what? I think it's like Phoenix. I believe it's Phoenix, okay? And these stats are from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, y'all. So Dallas being number 2 definitely means it's a safe space if you're looking for work, if you're trying to move here from a different city or state or whatever, and you're not, you're kind of uneasy if it's going to be easy or hard for you to get a job. Like, our job loss rate is so low. Like, we came in at 3%. Well, 3.7%, I'm sorry, which is extremely low. All right, pandemic really caused a lot of jobs to be cut off. A lot of people have ended up without jobs, positions getting cut, things of that sort. But Dallas, we did really well. I can definitely say that the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex survived Corona. Now, granted, a lot of people did lose their jobs, but in comparison to those other large metropolitan areas, we were pretty close to keeping our head above water. All right, so that's the first thing that I want to go ahead and get out the way is, don't run. Like, don't run, or don't feel like you are constrained to where you currently are located just because you're worried about if you're going to be able to secure a job, or, even worse, keep a job after you've secured it. So layoffs and all that were pretty much at a minimum compared to those other large cities and states. The next thing that I want to hit on, now, I'm not sure if this is going to be helpful to anyone, but I did some research because I was interested in learning about what industries took the most hits and what industries are kind of like harder to get into because of the losses that they have took and the cutbacks that they've done. So for leisure and hospitality, they've cut back the most jobs. So if you're interested in working for hotels or resorts or things of like that sector, they have cut back the most jobs. All right, so I don't know if that's what you're interested in, but it's just something to keep in mind, something to note. The second greatest losses have been in education and health services, specifically healthcare and social assistance. So if that is something that you are trying to pursue, I'm not saying that you won't secure a job in healthcare services, healthcare administration, anything like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But they've cut a lot of people. There's been a lot of layoffs that happened within that industry. So that's something to keep in mind. Trade, transport, and utilities has had the least amount of cutoff. So, and I mean, that makes sense, right? We've got DART. That's like a primary source of transportation in the DFW Metroplex. So, like, they're always running. That's considered like, I guess those are considered like essential workers. Healthcare is too, but as far as transportation, you've got to keep that up and running. Like, you can't just stop the DART. Like, Dallas, like, yeah. That's something to keep in mind if you are interested in that sector. And as far as corporate America is concerned, professional services, we have taken a loss. Like, there have been layoffs and cutbacks and things that have happened in-house within different large corporations. Like, for instance, because there's been so many budget cuts and budget shortfalls due to the decline in sales tax revenue and other taxes, you would see things like bonuses not being given out, or raises being very, very minimal, or not even happening at all, because, Corona, yeah, she caused a lot of trouble for a lot of things. So a lot of companies face these budget cuts like it's standard. It was bound to happen. A lot of companies, and y'all know what happened when we were on lockdown. A lot of stores closed. They couldn't even open, and the economy has definitely faced another recession, but a different type of recession due to the global pandemic. So that is something to also keep in mind. But from about March to, I want to say like March to September, March to August for other companies, there were a lot of hiring freezes in corporate America. Like, in the corporate world, there was like so many hiring freezes. Like, if you did not get in, like right when, the whole nation went on that shutdown, I'm pretty sure that you were still being considered. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were still being considered. Like, if that has happened to you, where you kind of got your application in like just in time, don't think these companies and corporations have forgotten about you, but everybody had to go on this big hiring freeze. But fortunately, most companies now, especially those larger ones, they have lifted these hiring freezes and they are on a hiring rampage, y'all. Like, a lot of companies now are trying to do their interviewing and go through their processes to bring in talent for the new year. Okay, so if you are looking to move, to Dallas, or if you're already here and you're trying to get a new job and stuff, the time to apply is now. Like, right now is a sweet spot to be applying, getting those job applications in. I can't guarantee that these companies will get you in before the year is over. Some may, but it's a crazy period when you're trying to bring in a class or a group of new hires when it's running into the holiday season, because you bring in a class or you bring in new hires and then Thanksgiving hits, or you bring them in the week before Christmas and then your company has the potential of shutting down, and it's just a whole mess. So right now is definitely a sweet spot to be applying for roles. But if you are looking to say you're looking to move to Dallas in a year or the next 6 to 8 months, my personal recommendation would definitely be for you to start your search about 4 months in advance. And then once you have confirmed what it is that you would like to pursue, what division, what industry, 3 months. 3 months ahead of time, I think, is a definite win for applying. Especially now, processes have changed. The whole hiring process, the scouting process, recruits, all of these things. The processes have typically been drawn out longer than they would normally, being that we are now living in a virtual world where things have to be conducted through Zoom or Skype or just by phone calls, and you're doing video interviews and things of that sort, as opposed to the normal process of you apply, hear something back possibly in 3 to 4 weeks, get brought in person for an interview. Like, the process, what we know the process to be in the past, is no longer it, at least not right now. I project things may kind of go back to normal sometime early next year, within like the first 3 months or so, but just still be cognizant of when you're trying to move, when are you trying to get your stuff laid out. Are you going to want a gap in between your current employment and your new employment? Like, are you going to want like a window just to yourself? Like, these are all things to think about. Another thing, now this is kind of on a different side. If you are in the unfortunate circumstance that you have lost your job due to coronavirus and you're unemployed, praying for you. But if you're unemployed currently, Texas benefits, like Dallas, like Texas, the benefits right now is around like $535 a week, but that depends on your eligibility, what you qualify for. But what they currently have in place are your WBAs, which is your weekly benefit amounts. And I believe around March, like early April, it was around $600 per week. So you were looking at around like between $2,200 to $2,400 a month. And for some people, that was truly a blessing. I feel like anything would be a blessing, but now that things are starting to open back up, I've noticed that there's been a decline in that trend. So, it's not much, but it's something. But just so you guys can get a general idea, for instance, say if you were to move here and you don't currently have a job, that's what you could possibly qualify for. Now, everybody does not get the same amount. There's a lot of personal factors that go into play when they're determining your eligibility and what you qualify for. Another thing I would like to hit on, so if you are considering moving to Dallas and you don't have a job and you're not trying to work right away, I personally think, now this is not for everybody may not receive this in the way that it's intended, but my personal suggestion would be to have money saved. If you're going to be moving here from a different state and you don't have a job lined up and you don't intend on working like right away, I personally feel like it's smart to have some money saved up. Now, how much is solely up to you. I would not be moving anywhere if I didn't have at least at a minimum 5 to 10 grand saved, and that's just for my own peace of mind. Like there's a lot of, your moving costs, your relocation fees, your prorated rent if you're trying to get an apartment or a home or whatever. But some people's situations may be different. They could be moving, you already have a place to stay free of charge until you get on your feet. I don't know what your personal situation is, but I definitely think you should have some money saved up, especially because with the current job market, you just don't know. You don't know how things are going to pan out, and I don't want you guys to shoot yourselves in the foot by moving prematurely, and then it's like, oh my gosh, it's been X amount of months and I still don't have a job and all this kind of stuff, because the job market right now is like a roller coaster. Okay, you really have to get in where you fit in. You have to be more persistent. You've got to network on a higher scale, because now it's turning into a who you know type of market. I feel like, at least in the corporate world, references and things are coming in handy, but it's going to be all about how persistent you were, or how are you getting your name out there, how are you really highlighting yourself as a brand to make these people want to bring you in this crazy job market, especially if you are, you have like all this experience, or you have little to no experience. You have to think about it, and it's like, okay, what can I do to set myself apart? All right, so do your research, do your homework, be perfecting those resumes in this season, because you get what I'm saying, like a lot of firms, because they have a limited pool of resources, financial resources, you have to come with it. Like, you have to really, really come with it if you're looking to secure a role right now. And I keep speaking from my line of work, my world, the corporate world, so I don't know how the process goes for healthcare and hospitality management, things of that sort, so I'm not really going to be speaking too much to those industries, but I'm talking about from my personal experience, what I've researched, what I've been witnessing people go through if they're trying to break into this market. Okay, so I hope this video cleared up a lot of questions for you guys. Just know that Dallas is not a complete loss due to the coronavirus if you are looking to break into our job market. So yeah, if you have any more questions, go ahead, feel free to email me. I'm happy to answer your questions. Give me some time to follow up, because your girl do be busy. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. Share this video with a friend, and I'll be concluding my Dallas series on Wednesday. Somebody wanted me to do my updated pros and cons of Dallas, but if you see this video and there's something else that you would like for me to speak on, I'm not opposed to extending this series by one more video. So make it count. Make the topic count. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting whatever it is that I choose to do with my channel. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.